Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Sorry for the pause delay. My fucking computer was acting very slow. This is my latest review for Fantasy Month, Berserk, the Flame Dragon Knight. Written by Makoto Fukami, story and art by Kentaro Miura. Which, when did this book come out? I think it was like 2018 or 2019. April 2019. So I got this book last year. Didn't finish it. Only read like the first like 30 pages and quit. Even though this is like a 188. Was it 188? Yeah, only 188 pages. And that's including the epilogue. So I didn't finish it because I kind of let the bad reviews like get to me. Which, like, halfway through reading this book, I was like, what the fuck is with the bad reviews? Like, have these retards not read a book in their life or something? Because a lot of them were, like, anime YouTubers and shit like that, right? And manga people. So, like, people who usually read comics and mangas don't really read, like, novels until they're like, older in age, right? Until they get to, like, their 30s and shit. So, right off the bat, I have to say, this book honestly it's gonna be either you like it or you really hate it. Not even love it, because I liked it. I did enjoy the book, but there's a lot of shit wrong with it, right? And I'm not even going to mention the fact that this is a light novel. So you're paying for light novels, they tend to be 200 pages or less. This was less. And they're like 20 bucks. This one was 20 bucks. Usually my light novels are 20 bucks. So obviously, if you're someone who enjoys reading books, then this is kind of like not really for you, because it's kind of a ripoff, because you're paying you know like 20 bucks for like half of the size of a regular book, right? And there's like plenty of books that you can get for like 15 bucks that are like more than like 5 times the size of this. Like the last book I read was The Name of the Wind, and the book I read before that, Free Body Problem. Both books are over 700 pages long, that you can get for like 15 bucks. So it's kind of so if you're not really into light novels, then like I would say don't sorry, not light novels. If you're someone who's like, reads books, and then it's like light novels aren't really for you, because like light novels are for people who are like don't really like to read that much, just want like a short and fun read, right? So the story for this is that it's an origin story for Grunbled, the Flame Dragon Knight, who was an apostle under the command of Griffith. Later on in the manga, and then he's in the new anime. He fights Guts in the scene. So this is his origin story, and like you have like basically I think it takes place during the 100-year war, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But the story is basically Grunbled is a noble who lives in this island called Grant, which has a legend about fire-breathing dragon. The culture of the place is very much reminiscent of like Vikings and stuff, but if Vikings like were still around during the 15th century, which they technically were, but they had already converted to Christianity. Here, it's the Kingdom of Grant is under attack by this empire called Tudor, which is part of the Holy See. Holy See kind of being like Christianity, and they wanted to attack Grant and convert them to the local religion. Not local religion, the universal religion of the Holy See, which like the king in the book is a convert, and guess what happens with the king? He turns out to be a traitor. Spoiler. There's gonna be spoilers because I'm gonna have to explain why this book sucks. Also, did I mention that there's lots of illustrations by Kentaro Miura, which are pretty good, though I did not like. There's like this character called Benedict, or I don't know how to pronounce her fucking name, but it's like this chick who's like a priestess, and like she's very. There's like a picture. One of the first illustrations is of her riding the back of like an animal naked. So it's like, and like there's other illustrations of her when she should be in her like, because there's like our 14-year time skip, and she should be in like her mid-20s or early 30s, and so she still kind of looks the same, which makes no sense, but whatever. So the story is Grunbled is a knight commander of the Flame Dragon Knights. He's in charge of the Fire Dragon's lair, which is a massive fortress. There was a murder mystery where like somebody was kidnapping young girls and torturing them, and it's implied that the person in charge of that investigation is like Grunbleld's like benefactor. I forget his name. What was his name again? Oh fuck. Not Abacus, that's one of the bad guys. Kirsten. Yeah, Kirsten. Was gonna put him in charge of the investigation. But before that happens, he has a flashback to when he was 14 years old. He first met Benedict, or however you pronounce her name, and his village is attacked by Tudor. They kill his mother, which his dad died in battle a long time ago, and he goes to like a conversion prisoner camp with the other children of nobles, and he's there for 4 years, and where he meets all these and befriends these other 2 nobles, Seeger, who's like a teenage girl. I don't want to get into like what she looks like. She's supposed to be beautiful. And Edward, who is the son of the king, but he's kind of like a bastard, but he was like, legitimized when his father, the king, who's called the Grand Duke of Hakon. Why he's called the Grand Duke and not a king when he's not part of an empire or anything, I have no fucking idea, but he's called the Grand Duke for some reason, right? Even though like this kingdom is an isolated island, right? And Edward pretty much looks like Serpico for some fucking reason. They're able to escape the prison camp after getting rescued by General Kirsten. And after that, there's like a 14-year time skip where like where Grunbled is in charge of the Flame Dragon's lair, where he takes over General Kirsten's post, and his 2 best sub commanders are Sigurd, the female friend, and Edward, right? And what ends up happening, because this is an origin story for an apostle, you all know what fucking happens. The main character gets betrayed. A lot of his loved ones are killed and die, and he by the way, he picks up a bayonet from a tiger he killed while at the conversion camp. So like the conversion prisoner camp. So he activates the bayonet, meets the God Hand. The God Hand tells him, "We'll give you great power if you sacrifice your loved ones." And then he becomes the Flame Dragon, okay? So if people don't know what the God Hand is, which I don't know why you would be watching this video if you weren't a Berserk fan, but the God Hand is basically like the Cenobites. If you can look them up, but like if you don't know what the Cenobites are, they're from a horror movie written by like Clive Barker, who's like a famous horror author. The Cenobites are basically like demons and shit. All right, cosmic demons. So I'm just going to go to the pros and cons. Pros: great illustrations, great action, decent dialogue, cool characters, good story. It's a fast-paced and easy read. Now we're going to go into cons. Too short even for a regular light novel. They dropped the murder. They started a murder mystery in the beginning of the book and then drop it after the flashback. And they go to the present. They pretty much just reveal it was one of the major characters, who I'm not gonna, like spoil. Excessive rape and violence, cause like, if you ever read the Game of Thrones books, you know that a lot of the rape and violence that you see in this book, you'll also appear in like Game of Thrones. So I think they were just like copying Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones was popular at the time and still is. But when they get into the fact that like not only are like women getting raped, and then there's also men getting killed and tortured and shit. They even rape and kill like young girls, which is like, to me, that's too excessive and not necessary. Though when they do say that shit happens, they don't go into detail on the rapes. It's just like it'll be like just like a few words. It's not like with the other adult females that do get raped, they go into a little bit more detail, which is I'm not a fan of shit like that. I think it's unnecessary, and that's, to me, even though I liked the book and I thought the book was good, I'm giving a low rating because of that. And then there's even the fact that I have another con here called professional soldiers engaging in rape and pillaging of their fellow countrymen. You wouldn't have that, especially in like professional knights and soldiers where they have strict codes of conduct. You wouldn't have rape and pillaging. You just wouldn't, and especially not of their own countrymen. I understand why they kill the priestesses of the temple, because the king wants to convert to the country's religion to be the Holy See's religion. But like for them to engage in that of their own countrymen is like, no way would they fucking do that, right? And like the reason why pillaging was allowed in some like battles is because either like lowborn militia would do that, or that was the bonus pay for mercenaries where they had like pillaging rights after taking a castle or a town or whatever, right? So you wouldn't have that. So like MC has a growth spurt after 18, which is like, that happens a lot of anime and manga. And you have unnecessary explanations. They felt the need to explain what fucking squires are and like tower shields, which is like, are you fucking shitting me? Tower shields are pretty like self-explanatory, and like squires, like everybody's like was like, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I was into knights and shit, so I knew what a fucking squire was. But maybe that was put in there for like the Japanese youth. I don't fucking know. And there's copycat characters, which in spin-offs, that's a very common thing for copycat characters. I hate that shit. And my final score is 5 out of 10. I would have given a better review if it didn't have a lot of the shit, like the excessive rape and violence, especially of young girls. That was unnecessary to me. Alright, even I don't give a shit if it's 18 plus, you shouldn't have that shit. Alright, bye.